So hello and welcome to my quick review of the Keis G701 heated, battery powered heated gloves. Well, battery powered or bike powered, we'll come to that in a bit. Okay, so putting on the G701 gloves. This is the problem, getting them under your cuff. Wrong way, because you got that wire as well. A snug fit, you have to pull it over, and there you go. And it's a nice seal when it's done. Plugging in through the jacket. And now it powers on. Now I'm going to show you putting the gloves on with the batteries in, so the batteries are in. You've got that extra bolt there, which makes it even harder. To get under the cuff. It will go, but it's just a lot of faffing about. And you just end up putting it over the cuff of your jacket. I mean, the cuff on this Rocker Calyx is pretty wide anyway, so that gives you some idea. There you go. Pain in the backside. Time you just end up putting it over the cuff like that. Which is not great if it rains, although it's never actually, I've not actually got that wet. It's never actually leaked down. I'm lucky I've got plenty of wind protection on the bike, but you know, it's still a worry. And taking them off with you. With the battery, you know, when you can see how bulky that is there. You can feel it. It's handy having these extra batteries, but yeah, there is a compromise. So the Keis G701 gloves in use. So at a minute, obviously I've got them powered in through the bike. Can't see it so much at the minute, but in the dark the illuminated logo is really visible, so it gives you an extra layer of visibility. So there's 3 levels of heat. You've got green, amber and red. So I'll show you. Green, red, amber and green. Green is warmish. Amber is also slightly warmer, and red is not. I mean, it's hot. I would probably say more warm than hot. The heat is only on the top of your hand though, so I presume that Keis are making allowances for you to have heated grips so that your palm is heated in that way. And it seems to work, but you didn't have a bike with heated grips and you just wanted heat through the gloves, you'd be a bit in the wind because your palms would get quite cold. So the fit and finish, so the fit, so I'm size extra large in gloves. These fit me a little bit big, so these are extra large, like my regular size. A little bit big, but I think that large would be too small, or a bit tight. I'm sticking with the extra large. Obviously, it's a thick glove, but not as thick as some winter gloves I've worn. But it's a thick glove, so you know, fitting the controls, you know, there is a bit of a trade-off there in terms of feel. So, I mean, it's okay. I mean, you can just about feel what you're doing. I've had worse, but you know, there's no escaping the fact that these are a thick winter glove with heated elements in. You do get used to it though. And the problem you have on the move, and this is probably the same with all heated gloves, but if you want to adjust the settings, the heat settings on the move, I mean, you've got to let go of the throttle. Luckily I've got cruise control, so yeah, I'm in cruise, I can cycle through, but it would be better if you just had to do it under one. There's like a Bluetooth connection, but you've got to do it on both sides. Which is a bit of a pain. So protection wise, I mean, these are pretty well spec gloves. You've got the scaffold protection, knuckle protection there. Okay, so I've used the G701 gloves now on all sorts of journeys, from boring commuting to enthusiastic rides to motorway jaunts. And as I said previously, they are a thick glove, there's no getting away from it, but you do get plenty of feel through them. I mean, as much as you're going to get from a thick winter glove. They've been comfortable on long journeys, which is partly why I've stuck with the extra large rather than the large. Because I think the large would be a bit too, might be a little bit too tight on me. But they've been through heavy rain, and they've not leaked, so the waterproofing is pretty good, no complaints. But the lining, as I've already mentioned, is nice and plush, so there's no comfort issues over long distances. So the Keis G701, these are the standard model, so you can plug them, you've got three choices of powering them. You can power them directly from the bike with a battery connection, you can plug them into your Keis heated jacket, which I have my J501, and they simply plug into the jacket, and obviously you power the jacket through the bike with the battery connection, and the gloves take the power from the jacket. And obviously, as these are the larger version, you have the option to powered up by batteries. Okay, so we're riding at night with the Keis G701 gloves. As you can see, get an extra layer of visibility with the power button. It's actually really bright. Yeah, so super handy for when riding in the dark. Just gives you that extra layer of visibility. So at the minute they're on red on the highest setting. That's amber. Medium setting. And green, the lowest setting, which to me is even, I'd say is even more noticeable. That's super bright. Cruise control, both to green, and there you go. In terms of comfort, they are a very comfortable glove. The lining is plush on the top and bottom, so your hands are nicely looked after in there. Even in terms of warmth, when they're not switched on, like they are now, I mean it's 12 degrees, so it's not particularly cold. There's still a bit of a chill in the air, and I think they're fine. Yeah, I'm feeling nice and cozy in there. So for days like this, you don't really need to have them switched on. So one of the handy little feature of the Keis G701s is the got a little visor wipe here, and it's very effective actually. It's one of the better ones I've used on a glove. A little squeegee on there. Yeah, it works brilliantly. Give you a little wipe. Okay, so just to round things off, I thought I'd go over the battery usage with you. So I left the gloves with the batteries in, powered up in my living room, and on green they lasted 5 hours and 50 minutes before turning off, running out of battery. On amber 4 hours and 5 minutes, and on red they lasted 3 hours and 20 minutes. They both run out of power at the same time, so they're both pretty consistent in that respect. I would say you're probably going to be using amber most of the time on these gloves, so I would estimate, you know, just allow 4 hours usage out of them to be on the safe side. Yeah, 4 hours is realistic. From completely flat, they took 5 hours and 30 minutes to charge. So in conclusion, the Keis G701 heated gloves are they're a great accessory for winter riding, and I do highly recommend them, although I would personally, now that they're available, go for the shorty version of these gloves, which obviously you do not have the option to power by battery, but to be honest, that's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make for the ease of getting them under the cuff of your jacket. There's not really many cons to these gloves, apart from the fact they're not exactly the warmest, I'd say. I mean, they are warm enough for the coldest of days, but they're not exactly nuclear inside. But to be honest, it's the first pair of heated gloves I've ever owned, so I can't really compare it to any others. The biggest problem with these though is having to press so many buttons to change any settings. I mean, just to switch the gloves on, you have to press and hold the buttons on both gloves. And same again, if you want to change the heat settings, you have to press on both gloves to change it on both sides, on each side. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating. I don't know if it's even possible to just have a Bluetooth link between the gloves so that you just have to press one button. But I guess that would just add more cost to them. So yeah, highly recommended. Thanks for watching, guys.